Hello friends, you are familiar with the definition of vector space and homomorphism. In vector spaces, V is abelian group over a field satisfying four conditions, and a mapping from vector space V into W if T is a mapping from vector space V into W, then if T satisfies two conditions, T is mapping from vector space V into W with two conditions, T of V1 plus V2 equal to T of V1 plus T of V2, and second condition is T of alpha V equal to alpha times T of V. If these two conditions are satisfied, then T is called as a homomorphism, and we have proved that the set of homomorphism is also a vector space. Now, if T is a mapping from vector space V into F which satisfies these two conditions, T of V1 plus V2 equal to T of V1 plus T of V2 and T of alpha V equal to alpha times T of V, or combinedly for U comma V belongs to capital V, alpha comma beta belongs to capital F, T of alpha U plus beta V equal to alpha times T of U plus beta times T of V. This is similar to the condition of homomorphism. If this is satisfied, then this T is called as a linear functional. This is linear functional, and this T here is homomorphism. What is the difference between homomorphism and linear functional? Here in homomorphism we have taken a mapping from vector space V into W, whereas in linear functional we have taken a mapping from vector space V into the field F. Vector space V to vector space, here vector space V to field, this is the difference between the linear functional and homomorphism. Now let us see the example of linear functional. If we take pi of pi I from f raised to n, f raised to n is a n tuple set to f. This is defined as alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha I, alpha n, pi I of, this is equal to pi alpha I. This is definition of the mapping pi I. Now we can see that how to multiply this. Suppose we have two elements, one element is this one and second element is beta 1, beta 2, beta n. Then alpha into alpha 1 comma alpha 2 dash dash alpha n plus beta into beta 1 comma beta 2 dash dash beta n. This is equal to alpha into alpha 1 plus beta into beta 1, alpha into alpha 2 plus beta into beta 2 dash dash alpha into alpha n plus beta into beta n. Now if we call this element u, alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n as a u, this element a beta 1, beta 2 as a v, then we have alpha u plus beta v equal to this element alpha alpha 1 plus beta beta 1 comma alpha alpha 2 plus beta beta 2 dash dash alpha alpha n plus beta beta n. Now let us take the image under under pi, that is here pi of pi alpha u plus beta v, pi I of alpha u plus beta v. This is alpha alpha 1 plus beta beta 1 comma alpha alpha 2 plus beta beta 2 dash dash alpha alpha n plus beta beta n, pi I of. Now see the definition of pi I of alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha I alpha n equal to alpha I. So here we get that this is equal to alpha alpha I plus beta beta I. This is equal to alpha into alpha I means image of alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n pi I of plus beta into image of beta 1 beta 2 beta n under pi I. Okay. What is alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n? Alpha 1 alpha 2 alpha n is a u. Therefore, this is alpha into pi I of u plus beta into pi I of v. The condition of linear functional is satisfied t of alpha u plus beta v equal to alpha times t of u plus beta times t of v. Okay. So, this is the linear functional. This is called as a linear functional. I will write here once again what is meant by linear functional, and we have seen what is the difference between linear functional and homomorphism. What is the difference? Linear functional is a mapping. Linear functional T is a mapping from vector space V into F. Its image is a scalar element. Okay, this satisfies T of alpha u plus beta v equal to alpha times T of u plus beta times T of v. Here T of u is a element of F, T of v is a element of F. This is a linear functional. Let us see one more example. Suppose that let V be the vector space, V be the vector space of n square matrices, n square matrices over F, and let T is a mapping from V into F be the trace of matrices. How it is defined? Suppose we have 3 by 3 matrices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then the trace of the matrix, this is equal to that is, let us take image of these elements, T of this element, that means 1 plus 5 plus 9. This is the trace of the matrix, diagonal element, addition of diagonal element. It is called as a trace of the matrix. Now let us take generalization. Suppose I have a matrix A having of order n, that is A equal to, suppose alpha 1 1, alpha 1 2, alpha 1 n, alpha 2 1, alpha 2 2, alpha 2 n, and alpha n 1, alpha n 2, alpha n. Then T of A equal to addition trace, that is alpha 1 plus alpha 2 plus alpha n. This type of mapping. Okay. Now suppose we have another matrices B equal to instead of alpha we take here beta 1, beta 12, beta 1n, beta 21, beta 22, beta 2n, beta n1, beta n2, dash 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 beta n. This is a matrix. Then T of B equal to beta 11 plus beta 22 plus beta n. This is the trace of the matrix. Now addition of this alpha A plus beta B equal to alpha A plus beta B. You know how to add the two matrices. We get addition of this alpha times alpha 11 plus beta times beta 11, alpha times alpha 12 plus beta times beta 12, dash dash alpha times alpha 1n plus beta times beta 1n. This is first row of the matrices. Second row of the matrices, alpha times alpha 21 plus beta times beta 21, alpha times alpha 22 plus beta times beta 22, dash dash alpha times alpha 2n plus beta times beta 2n. And we write the last row of the matrix, alpha times alpha n1 plus beta times beta n1, alpha times alpha n2 plus beta times beta n2, dash dash alpha times alpha n plus beta times beta n. This is the matrix alpha A plus beta B. Now let us take the image of this element alpha A plus beta B. T of alpha A plus beta B equal to, apply the definition. What is the definition? Then we get alpha times alpha 11 plus beta times beta 11 plus alpha times alpha 22 plus beta times beta 22 plus alpha times alpha n plus beta times beta n. Now taking common terms alpha and beta, let us take common here, alpha times alpha 11 plus alpha 22 plus alpha n plus beta times beta 11 plus beta 22 plus beta n. Okay, but this is a trace of the matrix A. So alpha T of A plus beta T of B. Hence the condition of linear functional is satisfies, and therefore this is a linear functional. We have seen two examples of linear functional. Now we see what is the basis of linear functional. Let me erase the screen first. Basis of linear functional. We define the basis of linear functional. Now the set of linear functional. We have shown that the set of homomorphism is a vector space. Set of homomorphism is a vector space. Then the set of homomorphism or linear functional from vector space V into F is called as a dual space. It is definition of dual space. So all types of mappings linear functional from vector space V into F is called as the set of all linear functionals is called as a dual space, and sometimes we use the symbol V cap to denote the set of homomorphism from vector space V into F. Now remember this definition, set of homomorphism. The element of V cap will be called as a linear functional obviously. Now we are going to define the basis of a vector space, dual vector space. We know that basis of a vector space is a set S consisting of linearly independent element and L of S equal to V. As dual space is also a vector space, it has a basis. Then what will be the basis of the dual vector space? Suppose if we take V1, V2, Vn, V1, V2, Vn be a basis of V, and if V cap denote a dual space, then the basis we define the element V I cap be defined as V I cap of Vj equal to 0 for I not equal to j, or I not equal to j, and 1 for I equal to j, and V I cap of alpha 1 V1 plus alpha I Vi plus alpha n Vn equal to alpha I. Then such type of element, n element, V1 cap, V2 cap, dash Vn cap be a basis of dual vector space V cap. This is the definition of dual vector space. See the conditions of definition or elements of basis of dual vector space. Here V1, V2, Vn are elements of basis of V. Then we have defined an element V1 cap, V2 cap, dash Vn cap is such that Vi cap of Vj equal to 0 for I not equal to j and equal to 1 for I equal to j. And when we operate this Vi cap on the linear combination of alpha 1, alpha 2, alpha n, then we get a scalar quantity alpha I. Then this set V1 cap, V2 cap, Vn cap be a basis of a vector space V cap, that is second dual space. Here we write in short to remember this, how it is Vi cap is operating on Vj. It is a 0 for I not equal to j, and it is 1 for I equal to 1. This is Vi cap, how Vi cap treat with Vj, a vector space element V. Now we prove one theorem regarding this second dual space. Therefore I remove this, and you can see that. Let us see the statement of this theorem. If V be a finite dimensional number of element in the basis of vector space are finite, and suppose I have an element V not equal to 0 in capital V, V is a vector space, then there is an element F belongs to Vi cap dual vector space such that f of V f of V equal to 0. This is we want to prove. If V is a finite dimensional vector space, let us see the proof of this. Suppose here it is given that, what is it given? Since the vector V is not equal to 0 in capital V, and therefore if it is not equal to 0, if we take the singleton set, that is a set consisting of a vector V only, is linearly independent. Obviously it is linearly independent. Since if we take the linear combination alpha V equal to 0, then either alpha equal to 0 or V equal to 0. Here it is given V is not equal to 0. What remains? Alpha equal to 0. If alpha equal to 0, that means all scalars equal to 0, linear combination equal to 0, where all scalars equal to 0. This shows that the vectors are linearly independent vector. And hence the set consisting of a single element is always linearly independent. But this singleton set is a subset of V, so it can be extended to form a basis. We have seen that if V1, V2, Vk are linearly independent, this is the theorem. We have seen that if V1, V2, Vk are linearly independent, then we can extend this set V1, V2, Vk up to Vi1, Vi2 up to Vir. And this V1, V2, Vk, Vi1, Vi2, Vir form a basis of a vector space. Here this singleton set V is linearly independent, therefore we can extend this set up to linear to form a basis of a vector space. Suppose that, therefore if suppose this is a basis set V1, V2, Vn extended basis, okay, this is a basis of V, where this V equal to V1 first element. We have extended, as V is a linearly independent, by applying this theorem we have extended up to n elements, where this V1 represents the V. Now if F1, F2 and Fn is the dual basis of V cap, we have seen what is the definition. As V1 vector space V contain n element in the vectors, n element in the basis, then its dual space also contain n elements, that is V1 cap, V2 cap, Vn cap. Here V1, V2, Vn forms a basis of V, therefore V1 cap with F1, F2, Fn is a dual basis of V cap. Then we can see that here F1 of V equal to F1 of V1, substituting the value. Now look at the definition. Here I have written the definition. In the right corner you can see the definition. This is Vi cap of Vj. Here Vi cap, here we have taken F1 Vi, and for I here equality, for I equal to j, I Vi cap of Vi equal to 1, F1 of V1 equal to 1. What we get then? Here we get 1. F1 of V1 equal to 1, and 1 is not equal to 0, and therefore here here is a mistake. F of V not equal to 0, this is we want to prove, and we have shown that there is a mapping, there is a function f1 of the vector space v cap such that f1 of v1 equal to 1, which is not equal to 0. Therefore, as we have a vector v not equal to 0 in capital V, there is an element in its dual space such that f1 v1 is not equal to 0. Now, remember how we have defined the dual space. What is the dual space? Remember once again, the dual space means it is a vector space. It is a set of linear functions. What is vector space or dual space? Dual space is the set. This is V and this is F, and if we have these mappings F, G, then the set of all vector space, this is a dual space, and we denote this as a homomorphism from V into F, and we have proved that this is we have denoted by V cap, and this is also a vector space. This V comma this set V cap is also a vector space. We have proved this vector space. You can see that our previous videos, set of homomorphism, in which we have shown that this is a vector space. And as we have defined a dual space on a vector space, then here we can define a vector space over this V cap, where the elements are F, G, and whose image like this. If this is a V cap, my vector space whose element of F comma G, then there are mappings. There are also mapping from this V cap to F, and this set also form a vector space. This set also form a vector space, and this is denoted by V double cap, and it is called as a second dual space. It is called as a second dual space. Look at this. What is the domain set of a dual space? Domain set of a dual space is a vector space V, and domain set of second dual space is a V cap. Likewise, we can define a second dual space. I will write here the definition of second dual space. A vector space V, vector space V possesses, vector space V possesses a dual space V cap, consisting of all linear functionals, on V. Now, V cap is also a vector space, therefore there it will also possesses a dual space. V double cap, which we denote as a V double cap, consisting of all linear functionals on V cap, and this dual space is called as a second dual space. Okay, that means if we have these mappings, suppose F from vector space V into F, then this vector space forms a V cap, and we define V cap to F, these mappings, then this set forms a second dual space. This is V double cap and this is V cap. Okay. So, this is the definition of second dual space. Likewise, we can we can continue and take third dual space like this. Now, we prove one problem which is important for next theorem. Suppose that this is a problem. I am going to write the problem. What is problem? Let V be a finite dimensional vector space, finite dimensional vector space over field F if V is any vector in V, the function t suffix V on V cap defined by TV of F equal to F of V for all F belongs to F cap. You can see that you have defined a function on dual space and that function is denoted by TV. Then what we want to prove? Then this function TV is linear functional. This is we want to prove. Linear functional on V cap. That is, it satisfies the two conditions of homomorphism. What are the two conditions? First one is for V1 comma V2, V1 plus V2, T of V1 plus V2 equal to T of V1 plus T of V2, and second condition T of alpha V equal to alpha times T of V. This is the second condition of homomorphism, and when it is defined on a vector space, it is called as a linear functional. Therefore, this function is called as a linear functional, but the conditions remain same. We want to show that this function T of V is a linear functional on V cap. Now, let us take any two element F comma G belongs to V cap. Then we can see that TV of F plus G equal to F plus G of V, F plus G, but these are the linear functional. It already satisfies the conditions of vector space. Therefore, it is like the second condition alpha times U plus V, likewise this one. But here F and G are the functional, and therefore we have written like this F plus G, but it is the similar to the condition of the vector space alpha times U plus V. Okay, or this condition alpha plus beta into V, like this. Now apply the definition of vector spaces. Here we are operating these functions. This is equal to F of V plus G of V. Then this is equal to F of V. By definition, what is here F of V? You can see that F of V equal to this, F of V equal to TV of F, and therefore here we get TV of F plus TV of G. Okay, TV of F means then you can see that the condition T of V1 plus V2 equal to T of V1 plus T of V2. Here TV of F plus TV of G. Now see the second condition, TV of alpha F, this is equal to alpha F of V. Alpha F of V, apply the definition of homomorphism. What is the homomorphism? Here we have taken S plus T of V. S plus T of V equal to S of V plus T of V. This is the definition we have applied here. And the second condition, alpha S of V equal to alpha times S of V. These are the definitions of addition we have applied, going to apply here. Then this is equal to, this is same as, this is equal to alpha times F of V, alpha times F of V, but this is alpha times F of V means, F of V means TV of F, TV of F. Now you see here both the conditions of vector space are satisfied by this mapping, and hence TV is a linear functional, T suffix V is a linear functional on V cap. We have defined that. Okay, I hope you get this concept of linear functional. Let us see theorem. If V is a finite dimensional, then psi is an isomorphism on V onto V double cap. Psi is an isomorphism. Okay, this is the set, this is V, this is F, and this is the set of V cap, and we are, this is V cap, this is F, this here we get the set of V double cap. We have to show that this V and V cap, this one, these two are isomorphic, and we have defined that this mapping from V to V cap. This is our target of this lemma. Now let us define to prove that. How to prove isomorphism? Isomorphism means we have to prove that psi is 1 1. We have to prove that psi is 1 1, psi is onto, and psi is homomorphism. Then psi is isomorphism. Let us define the mapping first. Define mapping psi from vector space V to V double cap. Now we have just shown a problem where we have taken the elements of this V cap like this, T of V, where V is an element of F. Therefore, we take V belongs to V such that psi of V equal to TV. For this V, there is an element T of V, and as we are able to prove that for every element small v belongs to capital V, there is an element T suffix V of V double cap, then there is a 1 1 onto and homomorphic correspondence. If it is psi is a 1 1 onto and homomorphic correspondence, then we get that these two sets are isomorphic. Okay, so let us take any two elements. Then for V comma W, belongs to capital V, T V plus W of F equal to, by definition of TV, this is F of V plus W. F of V plus W, this is equal to F of V plus F of W. and this is equal to Tv of f plus Tw of f, and taking f common, this is Tv plus Tw of f. This Tv plus Tw of f, that is we have Tv plus W equal to Tv plus T of W. You can see that how we get there. Here f is a mapping and f, this v cap is a vector space, therefore f of v plus W equal to f of v plus f of W, and f of v means this is Tv of f by definition of the mapping Tv. What is the definition of mapping Tv? Mapping Tv of f equal to f of v. This is the definition. Then f of v means Tv of f, f of W means Tw of f. Therefore, we get here this is Tv plus Tw of f. Therefore, this one T of v plus W, T suffix v plus W equal to T suffix v plus T suffix W. Now, then v plus W, psi of v plus W equal to, this is T v, T suffix v plus W, this is equal to Tv, T suffix v plus T suffix W, this is equal to, this is psi of v plus psi of W. Okay. First condition of homomorphism is satisfied. Psi of v plus W equal to psi of v plus psi of W. Now, see the second condition. For lambda belongs to f, lambda belongs to f, T of lambda v of f equal to T of lambda v of f of lambda v, f of lambda v, then lambda times f of v equal to lambda times f of v means Tv of f. So, we get that T suffix lambda v equal to lambda times T suffix v. Now, if we take lambda v, psi of lambda v, this is equal to T lambda v, T suffix lambda v, but this is lambda times T suffix v, this is equal to lambda times T suffix v means psi of v, psi of v. Now, both the conditions of homomorphism are satisfied. Psi of v plus W equal to psi of v plus psi of W, and psi of lambda v equal to lambda times psi of v. This shows that this mapping psi is homomorphism mapping. Here psi is homomorphism. This condition is satisfied. We have shown that psi of v plus W, psi of v plus W equal to psi of v plus psi of W. Now, we prove that psi is an 1-1 mapping. Psi is an 1-1 mapping. Let us see. Psi is 1-1. Let us consider these two elements are different, same. Suppose psi of v equal to psi of W, psi of W. Then psi of v means T of T suffix v, and this is equal to T suffix W. Psi of v, psi T suffix v. Therefore, T suffix v of f equal to T suffix W of f. This implies that, but T suffix v of f equal to the T suffix v of f equal to f of v. This is equal to f of W. This implies that, this gives that f of v minus f of W equal to 0. But f is linear functional, so we can write it as f of v minus W equal to 0. F is linear functional, so it maps 0 to 0, and therefore here we get that v minus W equal to 0 or v equal to W. Hence, as images are equal, psi of v equal to psi of W, elements are equal, and hence this shows that psi is an 1-1 mapping. Now you can see that the dimension of V, number of elements in a basis of V, equal to number of element in a basis of V cap, same elements as they are vector spaces, then dimension of V cap equal to dimension of V double cap, and therefore this mapping psi is onto. Psi is onto, so psi is homomorphism, psi is 1-1 mapping, and therefore psi is isomorphic. As psi is isomorphic, the two vector spaces, V and V double cap are isomorphic. Now we have proved that how the dual space is formed and how there is an isomorphism from the vector space V into the second dual space. I hope you have get the idea of dual space and second dual space. Thank you.